So I have a new Master's Keep series coming out called Revival. This is something I've been thinking about for the last 4 or 5 years. Back in the early 2000s, we went to Spain and bought 6 30-year-old Oloroso Sherry casks, added some 10-year-old to it, and came out with a product called Sherry Signature. About 5 years ago, my son Bruce came and started working for us, and we got to talking about things that Jimmy had done in the past. One of them was Sherry Signature, and I let him taste a little bit of it, and he loved it. So this put me on a path to revive the Sherry Signature again, and what I'd do different to make it a better product. Problem was, there's not too many old casks left in Spain anymore, but I did have the opportunity to go over. I met with a gentleman and we went around to several bodegas. He actually started his own cooperage. It was a lot more hands-on. Burning the fires, they actually took wood and made flames, and you know, they're not charring so deep, they're more sort of singeing that wood. But just watching his whole process, and he's making a lot of casks. He had a lot of American oak over there. But as we got back into one of his bodegas, he takes me in the back and I start seeing these casks that are dirty, they're black, they got a lot of character to them. I tasted out a few of them. The sherry was fantastic. It was exactly the flavors I was looking for to add to my whiskey, but also the character in the barrels. You could tell they'd been used over and over and over, and that's what I was looking for, to get some of that residual that had been there forever. So at the beginning of this, you know, one of the things you think about is not only the sherry cask, but you think about the bourbon you want to put in there. So I found some 15-year-old whiskey, some of that had been up on the higher floors that I moved down. I thought this will be perfect. But I ran into some 12-year-old that I thought was some really good. So I got to thinking maybe a 15 with 12, a little bit to it. The sherry, you're sort of getting that dried fruit taste anyway, with a little sweetness, so I didn't want too dry whiskeys. It's part of it. I mean, you just can't pour it in there and then hope when you're ready to take it out that it's good. We worked on that, you know, before I went and bought the final bunch of casks for 3 or 4 months, just tasting it every week. The 12-year-old just seemed to hit all the marks I was looking for, with that dried fruit with not too much of the wood, a little sweetness that enhanced the bourbon taste that was still alive. So for me, the Master's Keep series, it just gets back to, I guess, as the years have passed along, a lot of the stuff from my growing up in this industry. 36 years is what all the master distillers have done, especially Jimmy. You know, so when I get to do things that a 17-year-old Master's Keep, the most unique whiskey we'll ever have at Wild Turkey, aged in brick warehouses. The decades was something that was not only my flavor profile, but really showed what Jimmy liked with that super long finish. And the Revival is super exciting for me because it's something that he did, that he was trying before anybody else tried. I know Jimmy's thought of as that very traditional bourbon guy, and I'll never change Wild Turkey in that respect, but you know, just taking that part of him and making a little bit of my own by doing some things that he done, doing some different things that he probably wouldn't do. But a lot of it is just, you know, bringing back those memories from growing up in this industry and growing up with Jimmy Russell and seeing what he was willing to do to try to bring more people into the bourbon category.